So Jim, you have Dan, Rita, and Bernie, Arzab,
Buddy,
and starting around the room, we got Bill Fahrenwald, Allan, Stevo, Jim Klinker, Candace Carr, and Johnny Hill.
So the only committee members, I'll do a roll call and make it official here. So
just so you know, I just wanted to tell you because you can't see.
yeah. All right, so it's after 6. Yeah, it's 6:01. So we're going to call this meeting to order. This is Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, the regular Public Health and Safety Committee meeting of the City of Blue Island, held remotely Tuesday, October 20th, 2020, 6 p.m. as permitted by Executive Order 2020-07, signed by Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker on March 15th, 2020, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. To participate, call 312-626-6679. The webinar ID is 892-4375-2176, and the password is 599-276. If anyone had any questions, they were supposed to get a hold of the city clerk for those. So we're going to call the meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. I'm sorry. Bear with me here. And we're going to do a roll call. So if you're here, say present. Stevo?
present.
Hill?
Present.
Carr?
She's here, but she's having trouble. She's not muted by me, but she thinks she's muted.
Tell her to push *6 to unmute her.
*6, Candace? It doesn't show muted. I just don't hear her.
Might be muted.
There we go. Candace, whatever you just up, you just undid it now, Candace. You were there for a minute.
How's this?
There
There
you
you go.
All right,
Roll call. Candy, are you here?
I'm here.
All right. Fahrenwald?
Here.
Bill's here. I'm here. Johnson? Absent. And Will sent me a text earlier. He is not going to be able to make the meeting due to work restraints tonight. So, all right. So the first thing is number 3 on the agenda is the approval of September 2020 minutes. I sent the minutes out last week, I think on Friday to everyone. Did everybody get a chance to look at them?
Yeah,
Can I get a motion to approve them?
I'll move. I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Alderman
Carr,
Hill, second.
seconded by Hill. Any questions? Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote. Stevo?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Carr?
Aye.
Fahrenwald?
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that's 5 ayes. It's motion passed. Motion carries. Public comments. Public comments shall be by email only. Persons interested in making public comment must email their public comment to jklinker@cityblueisland.org by October 20th, 2020 at 5 p.m. Emailed public comments received will be read during the public comment portion of the meeting by Alderman Klinker. So I have one from Carol DePace Green. Grab that. Public Health and Safety Committee, public comment, Carol DePace Green. Police, fire, public works, and department reports need meaningful context. Listing and providing numbers is insufficient and needs more relevancy. How does September's report actually compare to last month's, along with September 2019, the previous year? Blue Island water consumers need Blue Island committees to continue work very specifically towards rollbacking the 20% water rate increase. In the past 2 years, the water fund accumulated enough money, so that City of Blue Island did not have to take out a 2020 tax anticipation warrant. Blighted Blue Island's majority poor working families understand the many barriers that include systematic disparities. We do not have a clear voice in committees or a seat at the table at Blue Island City Hall on our city council. And most aldermen are not only very comfortable, they willingly work hard to maintain the status quo. Blue Island aldermen have no plans to represent the people they were actually elected to serve. All already vulnerable Blue Islanders, all already vulnerable Blue Islanders should have a sense of safety and protection from Blue Island elected officials who typically earn upwards of $90,000 and more and are expected to fairly advocate for constituents that include the working poor. For Blue Island elected officials who can't see it, turn and look. Blue Island water consumers are looking for and want fairness. For Blue Islanders, the poor performance of the majority Blue Island elected officials is obvious, with the lack of appropriate action regarding real issues, such as financial exploitation, chronic flooding, higher taxes, failure to represent constituents, or decisions that do not benefit Blue Islanders in committee meetings or the full city council that are not about helping the people. We absolutely need to have aldermen and committees that are willing to make Blue Island better for everyone. The rollback 20% water rate increase issue needs to be addressed in Blue Island's committee meetings and voted on by the full city council without any further delay. Blue Island aldermen and the Blue Island City Council have not been fair with the Blue Island water consumers, Blue Island water consumers, Blue Islanders. The truth and trust matters. That was that. Okay. We'll move on to fire department business. Chief Dan, I didn't see a report from you today, so I didn't forward it to anyone. Do you want to go over what you got? And
Yeah, excuse me. My apologies. I thought I sent it and then realized when I logged on I had not sent it. So I will send it first thing in the morning. Again, my apologies. We'll start with the emergency call response for September 2020. We responded to 259 EMS calls, 138 fire calls, 18 of which were auto aid responses, broken down amongst our towns that we go to, the most being Riverdale. And we responded to one mutual aid call for the month of September. Monies collected for the month of September through medical reimbursement, which is our ambulance billing service, $60,462.64, bringing that year-to-date total up to $360,039.23. Fire recovery, which is billing for auto accidents and hazmat incidents. For the month of September, we received $1,760.67, bringing that year-to-date total to $19,721.68. And our false alarm fee was $0, and that remains at $700 for the month of September as well. Some calls of interest. We had actually quite a few wrecks throughout the month, but we responded to a garage fire on September 5th at 12316 Vincennes. That's still under investigation. It was pretty much contained to the exterior. Got some of the siding going and some other stuff on the inside of the garage, but it was relatively minor. We assisted Marionette Park on 914 at the old. I'm drawing a blank. The 118th and Kedzie, but it's the vacant stone place. Small fire was an office trailer that communicated to the main building, but minimal damage to the main building. So myself and the engine responded to that, and then the engine 2123 went to Cal Park at 12503 Bishop on 927. And then to 13914 Wabash and Riverdale on 930 to assist them. General information, I continue to work with the COVID task force as well as communicating with you and the elected officials. We were able to place in service 4 new sets of gear for our members with 2 more on order. So we're close to having pretty much half of the department done. I know that was one of the things we talked about during appropriations. But we finally started getting that gear in. And as we close out the year, we're going to be ordering what we can with that money that's left over to try and stockpile and replace some of the older stuff for the guys. Maintenance, truck 2114 still out of service. I know I sound like a broken record with that. They were the most recent time or attempt to bring it back. Unfortunately, it blew a trans line. They are in the process of flushing that trans. I talked to the mechanic. He said that if they're unable to flush it and get it work-wise, that it may need a replacement, at which point, as I'm reporting, I'll give you guys the news now that I don't think it's going to be worth, obviously, replacing the transmission for that. But we can discuss that. I mean, he said to start, it's going to be $14,000 just for the transmission alone, if that's what it comes to. He's hoping it's not bad. He's hoping that this flush will work and we'll at least be able to get it going for at least a little bit longer. I told him 6 months to a year because I know you guys are really going to be supportive of the purchase of a new truck in the future here. So that being said, I'll keep you guys informed of that. Ambulance 2162 is back in service. That had a small electrical issue, but it's back up and running. So we have that in service, and 52 went in to get some body work done from the accident that when the gentleman hit us back in June. So that should hopefully be back shortly too. It wasn't anything major. Fire prevention, Lieutenant Zielinski completed 2 new inspections and 8 re-inspections, as well as updated the compliance engine in the month of September. Moving on to training, our training hours for the month of July totaled 555 and a half. I participated along with Sergeant Sepisi of the police department in a tabletop exercise at the Metro Solve Alternative Care Facility. That was at the end of September. They ran through 3 scenarios with their incident command team. They had a fire, an active shooter, and a flood. So those were the 3 scenarios. But it was good to interact with them and have an idea of what their expectations are of us, and then what we expect of them. So all in all, that went pretty good. And then our training officer, Matt Sutkis, is currently enrolled, and that class started at the end of September in training program manager. So EMS wise, we continue to respond and prepare for the COVID-19 responses. John Duffy has agreed to take over as the EMS coordinator. And I have discussed our ALS upgrade with Kim Stotts of Ingalls. And I will address some of that under old business, but that's what we have under EMS. And that is it for my report. Again, my apologies for not having all the other information to go along with it for you. Do you want me to go over the overtime or anything, Chairman? Or do you want me to just wait for the packet?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out there at the end. What'd you say, Chief?
Did you want me to go through the overtime totals, or do you want to just wait for it in the packet when I send it tomorrow?
I'm good with waiting until we'll. I mean, if you want to go over, go over them. Why don't you do that since we're doing it?
Okay. Overtime total for the month of September was $7,283.73. As I said, I'll forward that to you tomorrow, and then our 7G for the month 11 total hours totaling $261.58.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on the Chief's report?
No.
Okay. Move on to old business. Chief, you got anything?
Yeah, just to update everybody on the ALS. So we did, I sent a letter to the union. We actually had a labor management meeting last Thursday. I sent out a letter explaining what the desire of the city is to move forward, and that they've been willing to pay for 3 of our members to go to class. So in light of obviously them having to have that in, I think it's by October 28th. We have 1 application currently. They're working on getting the other 2, and I have to write letter of recommendations for them, and they will be enrolled. In talking with Kim, she's going to set aside those spots for us. All they have to do is pass the entrance exam, which hopefully I'm pretty confident they will. And we should be in good shape there. Continue to, and I'll get with Topeka, looking at the purchases for the CARES Act to get this, at least the equipment ordered before, obviously the end of the year, and get that stuff here. I mean, I think the target date for us to do all of this would probably be January 1st. I think that's realistic, depending. I mean, we have to still get the ambulance inspections, obviously all the equipment here, and some other things worked out. But I think that's what our target date, somewhere along those lines, will be based at, or well, some of it dependent on how quickly we can get the equipment, and then certainly how quickly we can get the inspections done for the ambulances. So that's where we're at with that. And I do continue to pursue and price out and look at different options for the apparatus replacement as we come near to the 2021 appropriations. And I'll keep you guys obviously updated on that as well. So,
any questions on that, committee?
No.
Anything else under old business or new business, Chief?
That is it.
That's it. Okay. Then we'll move on to police department business. Chief Arzad, do you want to go over your monthly report?
Yes,
Please.
thank you, Alderman. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. All right. Good evening, everybody. For September, for those that have the report, I will go through things that are significantly changed. I'll skip through the stuff that remained the same since last month. For the administrative updates, we had probation officer Julio Puma. He graduated from the academy on October 2nd, but unfortunately on October 9th, he resigned from his position with the department and he accepted employment with another agency on the north side. So we did lose him, but we do have a probationary officer, Rezick. He is continuing his training at the academy, and he's expected to graduate in December. So with that being said, item C, our staffing last month was at 34, so now we are now down to 33, but realistically, that's going to be 31 because we really don't count Rezick yet because he's in the academy, and we also have an officer that has been off in reference to an off-duty incident. So we're at 31 as a department. Item E, as the fire chief said, Sergeant Sepisi and him attended the tabletop exercise at the former Metro South Medical Center. Number 2, for the monthly reporting, you have the 4 attachments at the end of the report. For the clerical totals, for the revenue streams for September, we brought in $72,922.84. On the bottom of page 1, for the calls for service, we had a total of 2,708 incidents recorded in September. On the top of page 2, 1,236 were calls serviced by our officers, and 1,472 were self-initiated by officers. There were 7 firearms recovered and 2 Narcan deployments for September. There were 80 hours of training for the month for officers, and number 7 for overtime, minus the reimbursable overtime, it was a total of $14,276.38. Under department projects, if we go on top of, well, really, for the department projects, all of these are repetitive. Yeah, there's nothing new on here. This was in the previous report as well. The fleet, I believe we had 1 more vehicle that was decommissioned for our fleet, so we're looking into possibly having to purchase more vehicles at some point to make our fleet a little bit better. On the bottom of page 3 are the investigation case assignments. Going into top of page 4, page 5 in the middle, we have the cases of interest. On September 4th, we had an aggravated robbery at the Metro PCS on Ashland. At approximately 16:27 hours, 3 male black suspects entered the store, demanding money and personal belongings from the employees. No weapons were displayed. They were only inferred. Suspects fled the store, and no physical evidence was located, and the business has yet to provide video of the incident. On September 4th, aggravated discharge. We actually got called back a couple of hours later at the Metro PCS for their front window that was damaged by a shot fired. According to a witness, it was suggested there was an unrelated altercation between 2 subjects in the street and 1 subject firing at the other, resulting in the damaged window. Physical evidence was located and has been sent to the lab for analysis. On September 6th, we had a missing endangered person in the 12700 block of Winchester. A missing 73-year-old who suffered from dementia and Alzheimer's was found to have left the home unexpectedly without notice by another family member who was sleeping. Information was disseminated through our law enforcement resources, and then a resident near 115th and Bishop in Chicago contacted our detectives and believed she saw this person on her residential cameras. And we responded, we searched the area, and we did in fact locate her in that neighborhood, and she was reunited with her family and in good health. On September 6th, we had a reckless discharge in the 1900 block of Vermont Street at approximately 11:05 hours, responded to gunshots. Witness described a gray vehicle unknown make or model traveling at a high rate of speed after the shots were heard. No video was located in the area, but evidence was collected and sent to the lab. On September 18th, we had an aggravated discharge in the 12400 block of Fairview at approximately 15:59 hours. Responded to the area for gunshots. Officers encountered subjects who were uncooperative and giving misleading information. The subsequent investigation revealed it was a domestic dispute between a female and a male, and the female's brother arrived and fired a gun in the direction of the male party involved in the domestic. That person has been located, arrested, and charged. On September 20th, we had an aggravated discharge near 136 in Western. Officers responded to gunshots from 2 moving vehicles. The involved vehicles were described as a white Dodge Charger and a white Jeep Cherokee. The Charger fled the area, and the Jeep Cherokee was involved in a crash at approximately 144 in Western and Posen. Posen officers were already on the scene of the crash as Blue Island officers arrived. The occupant of the Jeep refused to exit and was engaging in a standoff with Posen officers. Posen police requested the assistance of the South Suburban Emergency Response Team, and after several hours of unsuccessful negotiations, the subject took his own life. Evidence from the Blue Island incident at 136 in Western was collected and sent to the lab for analysis. Number 12, under miscellaneous information, after conferring with the consulting group who's overseeing the alternative care facility at Metro South Hospital, it was learned that IEMA and the state of Illinois just recently surrendered the Metro South Park at York and Western back to the original owner who purchased the hospital. I have been in contact with the owner, who is Dan McNulty, and I will make a follow-up inquiry. Once I found out this information, I will make a follow-up inquiry as to his future plans for the gazebo and the concern of the homeless people on the property. And then you have your usual 4 attachments with all of the reports. And that is it on my report, if anybody has any questions.
I got one for you, Chief. So the guy that was in the training academy and left, do we get reimbursed that tuition money from him?
No, we don't. No. Unfortunately, that's the price doing business. No, we don't have any arrangement to get that training.
Not the contract or anything? No? Okay.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
That's something we need to look at, especially if people are going to just move on to something else. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt. The only thing we were able to get reimbursed for was his uniform allowance that he initially gets. Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I might, do you know his reason for making the switch?
Lots more money.
Yeah. So I know it's an ongoing problem that we have, and I'm certainly not pointing a finger at you. It's just our problem, but it is a problem. And I know our force is kind of down where we would rather not have it be as low as it is. Probably not, maybe not asking now, but just thinking to the future. How do we keep our force up to speed? It seems that we're having a difficult time here, and I know a lot of it comes down to money.
You got to have more money.
Yeah, right. But we need a police force. So I'm not asking for solutions right now, but it just seems like it's something we need to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, we're not the only ones suffering in these situations as well. But yeah, definitely, it's been on my mind along with previous chiefs before me, trying to come up with some type of a resolution for this.
Okay, and then if I might just also ask you, there were I guess 3 significant firearms incidents last week, and one of them resulted in our second homicide, I guess, for the year. Do you have any? I just curious. Do you have any sense whether these are connected in any way, or are these just unrelated incidents?
No, they're not.
No, as we can see right now, none of them are related. In fact, I would have to say the majority of these incidents don't even involve anybody that lives in Blue Island. Unfortunately, a lot of the circumstances are just people passing through our neighborhood, having some type of confrontation with somebody. But yeah, we have not seen any relation to any of these being connected.
Well, maybe that's good. I don't know. But anyway, I just was curious because I thought maybe there'd be some kind of a trend, but thank you.
Right, yeah.
Anyone else with questions? I've got one more, Chief. So each month you're saying you guys are researching body cameras. How close are you to coming to like a decision on that or an update further other than I just think that next year's appropriations are coming and this would be the time to, pull the trigger, for lack of a better word, on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. We tend on bringing this up, obviously, during appropriations. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of options to choose from when you're going through body cams. Hold on one second. And then we have to do the RFPs. So yeah, we're actively still looking to work on this and coming up with a couple different options, at least during appropriations, possibly something that can suit us as a department.
Okay, yeah, I just think that in today's day and age, I think it's kind of a good thing. So,
Oh,
all right,
definitely.
yeah, keep us posted on that. Does anybody else have any question for the chief? No more questions. Okay. Old business, Chief, do you have any?
No, I do not.
Okay, new business.
If we want to go, I did send you guys attached to the report asking for a motion for the surplus vehicles. I don't know if you guys see that or not. So I did add a motion. I'm requesting a motion to approve the sale, salvage, and disposal of surplus vehicles as junk. The Blue Island Police Department and Public Works Department have several vehicles listed in Appendix A on the attachment that are no longer necessary or useful to or for the best interest of the City of Blue Island to retain ownership of. For this, I'm looking for the option and recommendation is for the City of Blue Island to authorize the appropriate city official to dispose of the listed vehicles by sale, salvage, or disposition as junk without the requirement of advertisement for bids for such amounts or in such a manner as may be deemed reasonable. There's no financial impact on it, so I'm looking for a motion to approve. This is just our next list of vehicles that we just want to get rid of, like we did earlier in the year. And I'm also looking, if it gets approved by this committee, I would be looking to put it to, I believe, municipal. Is that where Supervisor Postal goes for municipal?
Yeah, that's Jim.
Yeah, so if it's approved by this committee, I would look to have it be put on the agenda for municipal as well, and then forward to city council if it gets approved.
Chief, looking at the list, it's 30 vehicles. Is that what we're talking about?
Well, the first, as you see on Appendix A, the first 9 are from the police department, and the rest of the list is Public Works.
Wow. Where are these all piled up?
Public Works.
I did not know we had this many.
Yeah, okay. We're hoping to get rid of all this stuff before the snow comes.
And if I could just ask, since it's a lot of vehicles, these are going to be scrap value is what you're thinking?
Yes, for the majority of them, yes.
Okay, right.
And then I believe whatever we get, it would just go into the general fund, at the conclusion.
I'll move to approve it just to get it going.
Motion by Fahrenwald.
Alderman Hill would like to second it.
Hill seconds it. Any questions on this motion?
I guess
okay.
There is money. It doesn't. I'm just as a matter of appropriateness. Does it need to come before a finance committee?
I don't. I was talking to Jim Postal, and he was under the impression that it wouldn't have to.
I mean, it's not in my, I mean, I was just curious. It's not my call to make, but
Right.
We could, they'll meet next Monday. I'm on finance too, so I don't see where anyone's gonna have a problem with this. I mean, it might not be a bad idea since once again, it does involve income as opposed to
Right.
expenses, but, so.
Right, get rid of some of the junk.
Is that good with you, Bill? Is we'll make the motion and we'll pass it on to both of those other committees. How's that sound just to get it going? Because I know Candace's committee doesn't meet again till next month. They met last Tuesday.
that's fine with me.
So they can get through finance next week on Monday, and then I'll send it to both of them if that works with everyone. All right, so we have a motion by Fahrenwald, second by Hill. No more questions? All right, roll call vote. Stevo,
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Aye.
we can.
Aye.
Stevo, aye. Hill?
Aye.
Hill, aye. Carr?
Aye.
Carr, aye. Fahrenwald?
Aye.
Fahrenwald, aye. Klinker's an aye, so that's 5 ayes. Motion carries. 5 ayes. All right, Chief, you don't have anything else under new business, right?
I don't, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Alderman's concerns and comments. Mr. Stevo has a couple on here, so Mr. Stevo, you wanna go ahead with the enforcement of littering?
Yes, I have a bad internet connection. It comes and goes. I have a question for the chief. Chief, how can we enforce the littering ordinance here in Blue Island? Do you have any ideas on that?
Well, Alderman, we have either two options, either a local ordinance ticket or through state statute.
I think it'd be helpful if we did something on the local level.
Hi, this is Alderman Hill. I have a question, Chief.
This
Are there
this
any,
might help them.
how many signs are posted for the littering?
How many signs are posted for littering?
Yeah, in the Blue Island. Because, you know, if you go in the city of Chicago, they have signs posting saying no littering, this, you know, so forth.
Oh, Alderman, I couldn't even give you a educated guess on that.
Okay.
It's not a sign that I normally observe all the time while I'm driving around, so I'm assuming it's not very many. Alderman Stevo, are there particular areas where you're having concerns on, or just in general?
Uh-oh, he said he had a bad connection, maybe he's lost.
Yeah,
I'm having a bad internet connection here.
we hear you now.
I've only heard about half the meeting.
Okay, Alderman Stevo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, in reference to the littering, are there any specific areas of concern to you, or just in general?
I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me, Al?
Now I can hear you. I didn't hear what the
Okay,
chief
so
said. It
The
comes
chief
and
is
goes.
The chief is asking you if there's any specific areas that you're looking at for littering enforcement, or just in general?
In general. In general.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do have that option, absolutely.
Okay. Do you have anything else on that, Al? She said we do have that option. Hello? Hello? Alderman Steve, are you there?
Do you hear me?
Now I do. What'd you say?
I have an unstable internet connection for some reason.
Yeah, I know that's what you've said. So she said they have that option and she'll look into it. Do you have any other questions regarding littering?
No, I'd like to have it done sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Okay. The other thing that I have on here is the fire sprinkler code explanation. Do you have a question specific on that, Alderman Stevo?
Alderman Klinker, I can talk about that one. I know what he's referring
Hey,
to.
Randy?
Sure.
Okay.
If you can, Randy, go for it.
Okay. So the water ordinance that we have has minimum usage charges based on your meter size. So residential, for instance, a 1 inch line, there's a 7,000 gallon minimum. For a 4 inch line, a residential, there's 35,000 gallon minimum. What the current ordinance in place for fire sprinkler systems is that it's 1/2 of the residential. So for instance, we have 48, I did a little research on this for you guys. There's 48 sprinkler systems in the city of Blue Island, and they, like there's 11 of them that are over 6 inch, and they're getting charged a minimum of 50,000 gallons a month for the purpose of having the sprinkler system in their buildings. Now, the reason for the minimums just generically, and whatever anyone comes up with, but is I was talking with Jim Postrel about it today. The purpose for minimums is so that we can maintain our water service, our water system throughout the city. So as a group right now, the 48 sprinkler systems are generating $11,000 a month revenue for the water department. So I guess the question tonight, and I was approached by a business owner as well, as to why he's paying for 17,000 gallons of water a month he's not using. But
could I make a suggestion on this? Excuse me. I think it's a very legitimate point, and it's probably something we should look at. But it does seem like it's probably something for municipal services and financial committee rather than us. I think it should be. I'm on municipal services. I'd be glad to talk about it over there for sure. It just seems like that might be the more appropriate place for it.
Absolutely. This committee, I mean, the fire department is the one between the fire and building codes. Well, fire, let's not even go building. They're the ones that require the sprinkler systems based on certain criteria. We really have no control over what the city bills for the water that goes into them. So I think this is definitely something that should go either to municipal, finance, possibly judiciary, since they're the ones that we set this ordinance or whatever, however long ago. So I'll be happy to forward this off to those committees if that's okay with you, Alderman Stevo.
Hello, that's fine with me.
That's fine with you. Okay, let me write this down.
So basically, there is no fire sprinkler ordinance. It's a water ordinance that assesses charges to accounts that have sprinkler systems. So I think that's where you're going for, Alderman Stevo, is that the cost for having the water for the service.
Unfortunately, I heard half of your statement there, Randy.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
So we're gonna forward it to those other committees and have them look at that and see what we can do if they want to get it changed or whatever. Is that okay, Mr. Stevo?
Yes, I'm a member of one of the committees, so we'll bring it up at that committee meeting next month.
I'll send an email to the 3 chairmen and just let them know that, it's something that we need to look into and see what can be done. But yeah, like I said, we're pretty much just, the fire chief enforces codes and state laws and things that say that people have to have sprinklers, but really doesn't have any control over what they pay for the water that goes into it.
I understand that.
Okay. Anybody else have any other aldermanic concerns or comments?
Yes, Alderman Hughes. I'm thinking about the overnight parking again. I know I would still like to have some sign posted for that if possible.
So that went to Judiciary Committee, and I know they were reworking it. Help me out here, Randy, if you can. I watched.
Yeah, I'm on that committee, and I also suggested Ben as well.
Yeah, so that's where it sits as far as I know. Judiciary was possibly reworking the hours or something. Am I correct, Randy?
I'm not sure about the hours, but I know they were going to order some signs and do some stuff like that.
So that we recommended that to Judiciary. They were the ones that were going to take care of that. So we'll see if that's going. Johnny, if you want to check with your chairman, I think that's Alderman Rita, right?
Yes, it is.
Yep. So overnight parking. Anything else? Anybody else have anything else?
I got just one quick note, kind of what the problem Alderman Stevo's having right now made me think of this, and just to bring it up in future consideration, which is internet activity, which certainly now we're having trouble conducting the business of the Public Health and Safety Committee, so it does affect public health and safety. I've just noticed myself I'm an Xfinity customer, and they are having a lot of service interruptions, a lot. And I'm seeing it elsewhere. People are saying the same thing. I don't know if Alderman Stevo's problem is related to that or not tonight, but you know, and I this is a big issue. I don't know how that go after Xfinity, but it does affect our time. You know, not only from a safety issue, but also from an economic issue. Again, I just bring it up as a thing I'm seeing. It's been going on for a while, and it seems like it's getting worse. And
It could be due to the weather, because I know it's lightning and thundering now, so that could have an effect with the service.
Or, yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. Tonight it might just be that, but I mean, generally speaking, Xfinity's letting us down here a lot in Blue Island lately, and it's a problem for us. I mean, I run a business here; it's a problem. If I need emergency services, it's a problem. If I need to run a committee that you can't have a decent internet connection, it's a problem. So, again, just something to put out there.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else? Nothing, huh? Okay. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion, Alderman Hill.
Hill, adjourn. Second?
I'll second it.
Second by Carr. All right, we'll do a roll call. Stevo? He's still not there. We'll go Hill?
Aye.
Carr?
Aye.
Fahrenwald?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. We'll check again. Mr. Stevo, are you there? Okay. Well, we got 4 of us that want to adjourn, so we're going to adjourn this meeting at 6:43 p.m. Our next meeting is November 17th at 6 p.m.